Hey guys, welcome. Today is the day that we are going to get our planner January monthly set up and a couple other little housekeeping things here. So I've got my planner. This is my 2026 vertical plans. We put in our goals for 2026. And if you did not get a chance to see that yet, it is in the playlist with this video, but I will also link the start of the playlist up here in the corner so that you can see how the goals were planned. I also have this cover that I got off of Etsy. So we are going to start things off because I've been kind of handling this a lot and I don't want the cover to get icky. So that's the technical term for it. So I am going to go ahead and slide this on this side here, and then we will slide it again on this side here. And it should slide in pretty easily. The first side is always easier. Going to try not to crease things. So just kind of work it in a little gently there. And then close it up. And when I close it like that, it slid the rest of the way in. And so that is going to be beautiful. So now we have the planner in this lovely purple sparkly cover. I'm going to use this one for my main planner, and right now I have my 2025 planner here in the silver cover. And once 2025 is over, I will go ahead and take this planner out and I will put in my YouTube planner, which is going to be the plans horizontal. And so I'll have these two kind of sort of matching, but not really, planner covers so that I can have both planners look coordinated if I am taking them anywhere together. So there we have it. We have our planner situated very, very nicely in here. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my annual seasonal holiday stickers binder, right? So this is the binder that I have that has all of the kind of these annual things or things that I use for the monthlies. And so I do have tabs. This is why I didn't buy new tabs. I do have some of these tabs. And then I have the monthly tabs here. And so I am just going to, for this one, use these gray tabs here. And I don't think that I'm going to need more than one set of those, except I probably want to note maybe some of the trackers, things like that. So let's see. We will go ahead and get these two out. And I'm going to start kind of tabbing this up. Now, what I usually do is I'm going to go to, I want to tab this so that when I push on the tab, it's not wanting to lay flat right now. So this time I did this so that when I pushed on the tab, it opened to this day, right? To this this December cover page, and not to this December monthly. So if I want it to open to that, I have to open it this way. I have to hold the tab from this side. If I hold the tab from the back, it opens there. So I like that. I'm going to go ahead and do that with these. So let's see, let's start with January. And I'm going to go ahead and start here at the top with January. So we're going to get to, all right, here is our January page, and I am going to go ahead and just put that tab right there on the January page. And then I'm going to fold it over a couple times, just very gently, until I know that it's going to line up perfectly when I turn it completely that way. Now we'll do February. Now, one of the things you might remember me saying is I did not love having these spaced apart. I want them to be one after another. So even though I put the January there, and I'm not going to put the February on that, on where it says February. So I'm not going to put it on this little shaded gray portion. I am actually going to put it right behind the January. And so I'm going to line up the January and get that where I want it. Just like that. See, I like that distance. The only thing that I don't like is that the emoji is there at the beginning. So I'm going to pull that off and we will try it again. And with the tabs, they can be a bit of trial and error. So there we go. Oops. And I pulled it out. So you got to be very careful when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do, which is get it attached lightly, but still let go of it. Okay. So there we have it. It's attached. And this little gray area, that should line up with the edge of your page there. So now I'm going to make sure I like the way that looks. And I do. I like the way that looks. I like that they're close together. However, I do think I want it to be just a smidge further down. So I'm going to move it just a little bit further down and give it just a slight gap between those two. So now when it closes, you can see there's just a little gap, or should be just a little gap between them. That is quite perfect for me. So once I have it the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and pick up that page. And as you can see, if I want to turn to the month, I can do that very quickly. Same with this one. But I pick up that page to kind of make sure that I'm not going to stick multiple pages together with the tab. That's always kind of a pain in the butt. I have done that before. It's not fun. So there we go with February. Let's get March on there. And again, we only have to go through 6 months right now. And you might say that with this gray area that you don't need to tab, which is fine. I mean, if that works easier for you and you don't need to tab, no problem with that. I like the tabs, so I'm going to go ahead and keep them. We are going to turn this the other way again because we want that little emoji head at the end, right? So we want the month first and then the emoji head, and we're going to just kind of eyeball it again, just a little bit over. So I think that should be good. So again, we will look and we will see it's a little bit larger gap than the last time. So let me just kind of see if I can scoot it over. There we go. I think that's great. So there's our March tab. Again, a lot of people will tell you that doing tabs is really challenging. I think it just takes patience and time and kind of going back and forth, making sure that you like it before you get it stuck down. Really, before it's permanently in place, before you're folding things over and making that final decision, just make sure that it's where you want it. So let's see, now we get into, for April, we've got Q2 before we get to April. So there we go, we have Q2 and then April, and let's see. I think that is just a little bit crooked. So okay, I think that's good. Again, let's pull it down. I'm going to let you guys see before I even see. And that is way too far over. Look at that. Way too far. That is much better. I like that much better. So again, just taking your time, adjusting as needed, and then once you get it in the spot, get that stuck down right away once you like the way it's looking. So we have April, and then we have May. So let's get May on here. That is still the end of April. There we go with May. So again, we want to make sure that that emoji is in the right spot. And I think, yep, I think that looks good. And you see, I did get a little tear here. It looks like it actually got sliced with something. I hope I didn't do that. But that is not going to be a big deal because once we stick this down, that will just stick to the other side and it will be fine. So I'm not really going to worry about it. I'm just going to get it stuck. There we go. And see, you won't even know that it's there. It sticks down just fine. So now we're at January, February, March, April, May, and our very last one, June. So we have got June. There it is. So uh-oh. I don't have the rest of the month behind. I like to do it when I'm holding the rest of the month. So I find that I can, once I find that sweet spot, it's easier to get my finger out. And so see, now I have put this upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Again. I think that is just about perfect. Perfect for me is, you know, perfectly imperfect, but good enough. Like, it's where I want it. It's doing its job. I'm not going to take a ruler and measure where these things go. It is as close to perfect as I am willing to spend the time to get. And see there, I just did that where I got a second. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I thought I got a second page in there. I'm not used to this thicker paper yet. I don't dislike it. I know there are some people that are not thrilled with it, but I'm not one of those. I just am not used to it yet. So sometimes I think that I'm holding an extra page. So again, if I'm flipping this way, all of my tabs are going to work that way. And if I want to get to these cover pages, that it is super easy to do as well. So I can get to the cover pages that way, and I can get to the calendar pages that way. Perfect. I love it. Now I'm going to take one of these for each one of the, let's do these matching ones here for each of the quarters. Because I do also want to be able to see these quarterly goals. So quarter one, here we go. Or do I want to do the trackers? You know what? I think I want to do it on the trackers. On this page right here. And so I'm going to do this after the June. So I'm going to do it right here. This is going to make it so that I can really easily get to that tracking page in my book. Because if I want to add in tracking information, I want it to be real handy. So for these two, I will pull it this way. For the other, for the last month, I will pull it this way. I'm going to take the other one that looks very, very similar, and I'm going to put this at the exact same spot in the second half. Right here. There's enough distance between these two that I'm not going to get them confused or anything like that. That way I know what these things are tracking. And so as you can see, it is just one right behind the other to the side of this June area. So there we have it. Those are going to be my two trackers. So now I can quite easily find where those are. They're different. They're not in line with these, which is good. So I can very easily come to this and still be able to see all of my months. And then same with here. Very easy to get to that tracking information, because those are the pages that I'm going to use the most often. Now, I will say this is not moving as well as I would like in the cover, but it will. It just takes a while often to settle in. So I'm going to work a little bit on my cover here. I didn't do anything with this cover here, and I did put the 2025 in here. What I often do is I will often put a really nice graphic on this, and then a bunch of little emojis and things on this page. I usually start with just this and maybe one of these like notebook facts, and then, you know, but in this case I've got a couple different things that I want on here. So let's see where we're going to put everything. I think I want notebook facts up here. So let's get that in. I will turn around the planner to make it easier to line this up where I want it. And let's see, for 2026, I think I'm going to use this page, I have these seals. I also do have this. I suppose I could. Actually, I do kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and use this more subtle one because we have so much subtleness in the monthly. Yikes. There we go. In those monthly goodness, I'm blanking here. In our monthly stickers. They're very subtle and subdued this year, which is fine by me. And I am going to put this little guy over here. I love him. He is my spirit animal right here. This little emoji. He's awesome. So let's get him in. I'm going to put him right there. And then I do want to also put in the horse because if you watched, it is the year of the fire horse. So I'm going to go ahead and put the horse over on this side. And I think that is all I'm going to do in terms of vinyls and bigger stickers on the cover for right now. I will add to that as I feel like it later on in the year, but I don't always start with it done all the way. So there we have it. All right. That feels good to me. So we're good with that. We already talked about this page in the previous, goals set up for the planner. I'm not going to cover this with our let's see. So we have these dates. And then in the larger stickers, I do have here these covers for the calendars. I'm not going to cover in this book because I like this. It's very clear, easy to read. I don't really need decoration on this. I really want this to be more functional than needing it to be decorative. I want to be able to see it very clearly. I want to be able to highlight things. So I'm good with not using this right now for that. So we've got tabs, we've got all of that, and we have started the beginning of January. I've got these things that I'm going to be paying attention to in January. So now let us get set up on the month itself. One of the first things that I love these stickers. They are really, really helpful and useful, but also not. And so let me explain myself a little further. So these are designed to go on larger journals. So I can put this like I have in the past right here, and it will cover to this second day, which is fine for January. However, and it's going to be fine for February. Looks like it will be fine for March, and April, because it's only going to cover 2 days. May, it will cover 2 days. And June, it's going to come right into the beginning of June. Now, do I necessarily care that's just 1 month? I might be fine with it coming into the beginning of June like that. It's still going to leave me half a day for each of those days, and it's just a Monday and Tuesday. So, it's something that you really want to kind of look at your planner as a whole before you start placing things. I know that it's going to be fine because I know that on Monday and Tuesday, I don't tend to have as many things going on. But you might want to consider your own schedule before you start sticking things down everywhere and not necessarily knowing for sure what it's going to look like on all the different months. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and I'm going to turn the book. And this is a little bit harder to do while I'm maybe filming here, but I am not going to white out numbers. And I'm going to leave the 2026 there. So I am just going to put this like that. Okay. You can still see the 29 and 30 through it. That's okay. It's just that hint of the decoration. And then I'm going to take this one. And for this one, I'm going to put this, because my weekends do sometimes get busy, I am going to put this one in this bottom corner. And I'm going to pull it all the way over to the edge, completely ignoring this line here. It is going to go all the way over. For right now, that is the bulk of what I'm going to do with these decorative objects up here. I could put in the houses somewhere, but I don't know where I want them yet. So I'm going to wait on that. I can put in payday stickers because I know when those are going to happen. So I know that this Friday is a payday. I know that this Friday is payday. And I know that this Friday is a payday. So that's perfect. We've got those ready to go. Now I did pull out, these are the coordinating colors, the colors that Helen said would coordinate best with this. And so I did bring these out to get them ready. And let's see, what else do we have on here? We do have our little birthdays. I'm going to take a quick peek over here at my birthday list in my old planner and see if there are any birthdays that I need to pay attention to. And I know there's at least 2, but I just want to see if there's going to be anything else. So I think those 2 are going to be the only ones. So we have got here on the 24th, and then again on the 31st. We've got birthdays. And yep, I think for now, those are good. We have got, this is going to be Suzanne. Birthday. And this one is Gino. Birthday. All right. What else do we have? Well, we're definitely going to have New Year's Day here. And I am actually going to mark that with a little bird, because I don't need to make a big deal about New Year's Day. So let's put that in, and we will write New Year's Day. That is my only kind of holiday, if you will, of January. So I know that Martin Luther King Jr. Day is what, the 19th probably of this year. But I also have holidays here. Actually, I think I'm going to use them. I don't think I'm going to use that little bird there. So we will gently pull this little bird up so that we can use it somewhere else. If you have yourself a pair of washi tweezers, this is a great use for them. I do, but I'm not sure where they are right now. So I'm going to have to make do without them. We'll have to figure out how to get this bird up without tweezers. There we go. Had to get the right angle on it. So I'm going to take this little bird and I'm going to move him down here. Actually, let's put him right there. I don't know what's going on those days. I'm just going to move him there just so that, because if I try and stick him back onto the sheet that he came on, it's not going to work real well. So we'll just put him there. He'll be fine. Let's take a little bit of white out, just because I don't know how much this sticker will cover up. I'm going to go ahead and put, okay, so this does cover up the date as well, and I don't know that I want it to do that. So I think I'm going to put this at the bottom of the day instead, so that it doesn't cover up that date. That should be fine. Now, I made a choice to go with these. These are the corresponding colors, the colorful ones. I'm good with that. I will use the white ones for something different. So I'm going to put that aside because I'm not going to be using that. And right now, that is the only holiday, official holiday for January. So I have that done. I have used my little kit items. Those are done. And these I'm going to use on the weekly pages, not here, because I do have the week numbers over here. I do not need the word January because I've already got it there. And let's see if we have any fun little holidays in January. We have 4 of them. We have the Stop Spam Day, and that's actually quite fitting. I'm going to put this in the bottom corner. That's quite fitting because on that day, I tend to actually, or right around the beginning of the year, I tend to, I'm going to move this bird again. This bird is going to be my downfall in this whole spread. Let's move it over here. I tend to email companies on the 2nd, or start emailing and unsubscribing from email lists. So that's a good Stop Spam Day is quite fitting for that. And then we have got Popcorn Day over here. So those are our fun, wacky holidays for January. So I will kind of set this aside also. I have 2 of those. I really, really love these chapter 1, chapter 2. And so I'm also going to use, this new quarter right here, because it does have that little arrow pointed this way. So that lets me know that this is a new quarter, and I want to find somewhere to put this chapter 1, and I think I'm actually going to put it on this page and maybe start kind of a narrative here of my goal progress. So this is going to be chapter 1. I'm going to write about what I want to see happen for my goals here on this page, and then we will kind of write about what happened when we do our January recap and figure out what that is, and then how we're going to move forward into February. So that'll be great for the goal setting. So we have that done, and I have these extra tabs that I don't need right now, and I don't need, there's another little bird, I can have extras now to figure out and move around throughout the month, but I don't really need those yet. We are going to go ahead and put in some of our events for the month. I am going to use this blue for our date nights. So I'm going to go ahead and put in on Tuesday. Just going to highlight the second from the bottom line on Tuesdays for date night. I'm going to go ahead and also do a line above that for my call with my friend Kim. And we will go right around this little bird here. Again, I swear he's going to be my nemesis. So now he has to stay there, right? Because we drew around him. So he's got to live there. Now, I may run into an interesting situation because I am supposed to travel this week. So it may change a little bit, and I may need to do some whiting out. We will see. But for right now, we have got date night. And Kim. Date night. Kim. Date night. Kim. That is part of what I want going on for my month. I do want to put in over here, and I think I'm going to use one of these little doodles to do that. I think I'll use this little tree right here. And I'm going to look up really quick on the computer what day, and I'm correct, it was on the 19th. Put this on the 19th, and this is MLK Junior Day. All right, and I did have I did notice some people were talking about smudging. I forgot to put something down before I put my hand down there, and it doesn't look like it's smudging real bad. So I don't think this is going to be a problem. but I am going to use that blotter paper that was given to those of us that pre-ordered to make sure that we're okay on that. Now, what else do we have that we want to get in here? I'm going to put in okay, January. We are going to put in our moon phases for January. And in order to do that, I'm going to get out, I have little moons somewhere. Let's see if I can find them. I do have, by the way, these Kim calls and date nights. I should be using those stickers again, but I forgot. And I also need to put in, these are all of the things that I use kind of regularly. So I need to put in my rabbit. I don't know if any of the rest of you have that tradition of saying rabbit on the first thing on the first of every month, but I also put rabbit on my calendar. And so, let's see. I do have a little day off pillow that I can use. Let's use this blue color here. That is going to be here. There we go. Now, where are my moons? I may have to get out the other binder to find the moons. They might not be in this one, although they should be. Nope. But while I'm in this one, I'm going to go ahead and select a sticky note. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this yellow here, or this green sticky note. So it's a sticky note sticker, which I think is just the cutest thing. Sticker of a sticky note. And I'm going to put this on this day right here. I am going to say, travel to Florida. So that is when I'm supposed to be traveling. I don't know the exact day. It's supposed to be sometime this week. At least I've got it on the calendar so that I know that that is going to be a thing. I will take this green for our moon phases. So the first one is January 3rd and January 18th. Okay, so I have opening here for both of those, January 3rd and January 18th are our moons for the month. So this is going to be the wolf. This is the wolf full moon. And that right? Yes, that is the wolf full moon, and then this is going to be our new moon. There. Okay. Now, let me take a quick look at what I have in here. Beginning of the, okay, we have got an ice carnival on the 24th of January. So I don't know for sure, again, that we're going to attend that. So in this case, I will take that little yellow sticky note. Sticky note sticker. And I like these because they're movable and removable. So that was on the 24th. This is the Delmar Ice Fest. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna feel up to doing that or not, but I'll just put that there. I tend to be very hermit-like in the winter. I tend to not do a lot and go out a lot in the winter. And so putting something on my calendar, like an actual to-do, is really big deal in January. So, thus the impermanence of the sticky note here. If we decide to do it, I will leave it here. I want to move it up just a little bit so I can still see below. If we decide to do it, I'll leave it here. But that's a big if. We will see. But I'm thinking that because I'm going to be potentially in Florida during the week and it will be warm, I will probably come back feeling a bit more energized from that warm, sunny weather, and I'll be okay to attend an event that day. So for right now, that is everything that I can think of off the top of my head that I want to put on here. So let me just check in with my calendar and see if there are other things. I do know I want to get the plan with me's here. So let's take this color, and I think we'll do right here. So we are going to do plan with me's on Sunday, still in the new year. So I want to make sure that I have a space for those. And I don't need one on this day. So I am just full of mistakes today. Goodness. Maybe should have saved that for when I'm not feeling so mistake prone. So let's see, what can we do to kind of cover that up? Well, we can put little houses. We can put a another sticker. We do have this. Let me just put this sticker down here. Nope. I'm going to kind of let this go into the day before a little and off to the edge here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this little house and stick it in the bottom of this. And all of a sudden, you're really not going to notice that there is that let's see, we maybe stick the little sunshine there, and boom, we don't even notice that there was a mistake there. All of a sudden, it's just an opportunity for some decor on that day. Because we're not using that day. And so that'll help me be reminded that I can go to February for that. So now we have a plan with me live. For each of those. Now I do have a YouTube planner. So I'm not going to really be putting all of my YouTube in here. The reason that I put these in here is because this is a timed event. I do this every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And so I want to make sure that it is on my calendar so that when I am putting other things in, if something comes up and I want to put something else in, I will know that I either need to move that live or that I need to work around that. So that is why I want to make sure that I have those in there. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. I do have a task, but I don't think that I want to put those in here. I think I want those on a task page. All right. I'm going to take a very light colored pen and I'm going to mark in some sports. We're going to go 7 p.m. IU. At some point, the Colts are playing on this day, so I'm not sure when. It's not they don't have a time on my calendar, but they do have a game. It's interesting. I have the calendars, the sports team calendars, like synced with my Google Calendar so that they show up, and I find that really, really strange. Okay, let's see, on the 7th at 5:30, we have an IU game. And I'm deliberately making this really, really light because I don't tend to plan around these. However, I like to be aware of them because if I have a choice of when to do something, I try to not do it when there is a game. Now, for example, this is date night. We will still go to date night. We will not stay home because of the game. But it's just nice to know when those things are. So, you know, if we're trying to decide, do we do something Saturday? Do we do it a different day? You know, I don't have to, I know what's going on, basically. So let's put in 6 p.m. And on the 23rd, 5 p.m. And we have 8 p.m. All right. The only other thing is book club, and I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put that in? Now, I do have this cute little book here. I could put in book club. However, I have several book clubs now that I am in, and I think I'm going to save that for a different one. I have my Seattle book club is on the 4th. I think it's the 4th, or is it the last? It's the 4th or the last Sunday of which it's going to be the same. So let's put that on this day. Let's use that little book sticker over here. Because I haven't been going to Silent Book Club as much, but I am going to be going to the Seattle Book Club. So let's going to put this here, and that is at 2 p.m., correct? Yes. There we go. All right. So right now I'm going to leave this the way it is. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I do sometimes put in events that I think I might want to attend from my Facebook page, but I haven't really been keeping up on liking events on Facebook because, again, January and February, I tend to hibernate a bit more. So for January and February, I'm not going to do that. I may add in more decoration, maybe maybe this lives here on the bottom, this little row of houses down here. But I'm going to wait until later on in the month and just kind of see what the month brings before I start putting more things down. So for right now, this is how January looks in my main planner. Hope you guys enjoyed this plan with me and working out a month. There's not a lot going on here. I do want to look at my goals and see if there's anything that I'm supposed to be putting in on the monthly pages here. So I know I'm going to be doing the unpacking on Saturdays. That's fine. Reading. I'll put in books, what book I'm reading somewhere. Maybe not on this page. I think I've got a different place I want to keep that. Travel, recipe book, the sleep average, hypnosis, water. Okay, none of that, and nothing here. So for right now, I don't have any goal information that I want to be putting here. One of the things that I did note is that when I travel, I do want to highlight that on here, as well as in a couple other different places. But for right now, this is perfect. This is all I need for January. January is going to be, again, fairly chill because I am a hibernator in the winter. So I'm not going to be doing a lot during the month, as you can see, other than, going to work. And so that'll give me some time to maybe get ahead on some things for the YouTube channel. I would like to make sure that I have a midweek video for you guys every week. So maybe I can get some work done ahead of time on getting maybe some of those blackout journal videos or some other fun videos created for you guys that I can intersperse throughout this month. And so it looks like I'm going to have plenty of time to work on that. So thanks for joining me. We will tomorrow. Right now it's Saturday, the Saturday before this week. You will not see this until Monday. So you're going to see this on Monday, and I will have already planned this week, this weekly page in here. But this is what's coming next for me on my schedule. So I will see you guys when I plan this page. If you want to watch that next, I'll put that up in the corner. I'll also put that as your next video to watch if that is something that interests you. If you want to see more monthly videos, then I'm going to link the monthly videos in the playlist. And if you want to continue on the goal setting and planner setup videos, I will make sure and add those in the cards so that you are able to access that playlist really, really easily. So thanks so much for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.